Well, uh, hi everybody, and welcome. For those of you who don't know, my name is Joe Cangelosi, and just like all of you, I loved Amanda Shai very, very much. When I spoke with Matt about what he wanted to do today, it was actually very simple, to have a celebration of her life in the way that she wanted to do it. In a room full of great music, liquor, and more gay men per square foot than any other place in America. So I think we checked all the boxes. I'm going to have what we're going to do today is have a few people who are very close to her say a few words, sing a few songs, share some memories, and share some stories. Now, when I was thinking about what I was going to say and regale you with one story, I had a lot of stories to choose from. I could have chosen where we first met, which was only a few doors down, where we would spend every weekend slinging drinks for a bunch of drunk crazies. Or the one where she had just met her then boyfriend, Matt McCurdy, and their first Valentine's Day together, he brought her a bouquet of carnations. And she was so freaking upset about this because they're filler flowers. He got better. Or the one where we might have had a couple of cocktails one day at a bar and ended up on a midnight bus to Atlantic City, New Jersey. And the rest of the story went pretty much as you think it might have been at 2 a.m. in New Jersey. Or the one where she won tickets to Oprah and took me as her guest. Or the one where I ran a marathon and she threw me a party and I had brought a bag that had a change of clothes. And she might have had a cocktail or two when I was running. And then when I went back to the house, she swore that this other bag was the bag I left over. And in it was a pair of multicolored capri pants about the size of this paper. And she insisted that I try them on because they're yours, Joe. You gotta put them on. You got to. That was verbatim. Or I could tell the one about the last time I saw her. We just had gone out and we're catching up like longtime friends do. And we're talking about things we want to do, including we were both going to take 2 separate trips to Europe, and she was going to change all of her plans with her husband so she could meet me in Paris, just so we could have some time visiting together. Because that's the kind of person that she is. You know, I learned an important lesson that there's a difference in relatives and family. Now, those two things can overlap, and they do a lot, but they don't have to. Family is what's in your heart. And to me, and I know to many, many people in this room, Amanda Shai was our family. So I'd like to first welcome her closest family. Matt, where are you?
Right here.
Matt's father, John McCurdy. His mom, Kathy, and sister, Amy, are in West Virginia, so we want to say hi to them. This is being live streamed, I think. Mama Shai, of course. And Kelly. And Gina, Kathy, and Don. And I know that Jake and Luke are here. And Regan and Casey are back home, so we want to say hi to all of them and hi to everybody who came all the way from Texas to be here. Thank you for sharing her with all of us. I'd also like to say thank you to Kurt Kelly, who's one of the owners of Stonewall. The genesis of this whole thing was actually his idea. So thank you, Kurt. Yeah. Thank you to Melissa for making this happen. Everything I asked for, the answer was yes. So thank you. Thank you to Chauncey for running the damn thing. Special thanks to the bartenders, Kimberly and Maria. Definitely applaud the bartenders. And please tip them generously. This is their Saturday. They also loved Amanda for 20 years. We all worked with her. Thank you to Jerry, who's a phenomenal piano player, no pressure. Thank you for saying yes. Thank you for Michael also, who's amazing. I also worked with Amanda many times. So the point is that there are no strangers in this room. Again, the intention here of this day is to honor and to celebrate Mandy, who was a wonderful, fun, talented, smart, beautiful, kind, thoughtful, generous firecracker of a woman from Texas. So, as we're here today, it's okay to laugh. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel whatever you feel and express that in whatever way you are, because we are all family here today. If you haven't done so yet and you want to share a story, right over there, I have what I'm calling a memory box. If you'd like to write a story down, please do. These will be made into books that will be given to her family, and I know they're going to want to read as many fun stories as you can. So throughout this experience, please write a story down if you'd like. Please go to the bar. It's open. So thank you all for taking time to be here today. And Amanda, if you're listening, and we know you are, we love you and we miss you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Joe. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jill Blackwood. Recently became Jill Holmes, actually. And I consider Mandy to be my lifelong best friend. And, I've been very blessed in my life that I have a wonderful, loving family, incredible parents, amazing siblings who are here today. And I know that's played a role in who I am. And I also know that not everyone is blessed with that. But in addition to family, the friends that you choose growing up or who choose you can have such a tremendous impact on the choices you make, the perceptions you have of yourself, and who you ultimately become. So I was doubly blessed when in 6th grade band class at Leander Middle School, I met fellow alto saxophone player, Amanda Shai. And we were the only lady saxophone players in that band, so we thought it was pretty cool. But from that point on, we were fairly inseparable through middle school, high school. We did high school theater together. We went to the same small university and did theater together there. We were working our internships at the same time here in New York City, and she was the maid of honor in both of my weddings. And, she was part of the family. We grew up in the same neighborhood, and she was the person, she, as we all know, was always so confident. And I always leaned on that when I was with her. She was so confident and had this huge energy, and she always took up more of a presence than you'd think this 5'0" person would. And I was your typical, insecure teenager, and I sort of would shrink myself down as we kind of met in the middle. And she was the one always lifting me up, the voice that would say, what's the matter with you, girl? You're just as good as anybody else. And so I was just so blessed to have her in my life. And the memory that I wanted to share, because it's the most important to me, at the risk of embarrassing myself, even when distance separated us, we remained close. I would pop up to the city and sleep on her couch, and I would see her when she came to Texas. And, we all have many friends, and Instagram followers or whatever, but the number of people that you can just call in the middle of the night when you have a crisis, or the first person you want to call to share good news with. Outside of my family, that person was Amanda Shy. And about 5 years ago, without divulging, my personal life, I was just going through a major trauma, as a lot of us do in life. It was kind of a slow crumbling over a period of years that kind of came to a head. And I was just suffering a lot of shock and trauma. I was supposed to go on this anniversary trip, which didn't happen. And Mandy said, just come up here for the weekend. We'll have a girls' weekend. We'll go to the hotel. We'll do all the things. So I got on a plane, and I guess it was the first time I was sort of alone with my thoughts, and my situation just weighed so heavily on me. I've never experienced this before, but I don't know what you would call it, a panic attack, psychological breakdown, nervous breakdown, I don't know. But I gave the people on that plane a great story for their happy hour friends. The crazy lady who the flight attendants have to subdue and give oxygen, I don't know, I don't remember. But anyway, I somehow made it to the hotel, and Mandy rushed over to the hotel. And, I don't know what her work schedule was at the time. I don't know what plans she had or, other obligations she had. But all I know is she stopped and dropped everything, and she was with me every minute. And it was really this, the scariest 24 hours of my life. I don't remember much of it. I couldn't breathe. I just wasn't aware of what was going on. And Mandy, I don't know how she did it. I think she somehow unlocked my phone. And she had, my therapist on the phone. She had reached out to all of my family members, friends in Austin. There was an Austin friend of mine that was in the city who ended up in her hotel room. And she was just doing everything she could to kind of bring me back. And like I said, it was blurry, but the one memory that just is so crystal clear in my mind is a moment where I kind of came to, and she had just wrapped herself around me like a weighted blanket, like just trying to make the pain go away and bring me back. And the next day, my family was there, and she had sort of corralled everyone around me. And I know it sounds dramatic, but I just feel like she saved my life that day, because not that I would have intentionally done anything, but when you're not in your right mind and you have access to alcohol and who knows what else, I just feel like the day could have ended differently had she not been by my side. And she just is so sweet. She was like a 24-hour psych ward nurse. I'm not kidding. I mean, she just was wonderful. And then the other memory I have is when I finally sort of could breathe again, and I came to, and she shook my shoulders. She said, "Jill, you have to eat. That's part of the problem. You've been, haven't eaten. What could you eat?" And I said, "Well, chicken nuggets. I don't know, just something bland." And the next thing I knew, I just seemed like there were all these knocks on the door, and we had plastic containers of popcorn chicken and bags of chicken sandwiches, and I mean pretty much any breaded chicken product available in the greater Manhattan area was in the hotel room. Because that's just how she just wanted to make sure there was something, And so that, I just feel like she saved my life that day, and it's such a perfect example of the generosity and the love that she had for her friends, for all of her friends. I feel like some of you in here I don't know, but I've heard stories because she was so proud of, she just had such a big love for her friends, and I hope that's what I take with me going forward, and not being afraid to love the most like she did. And Matthew asked me to sing a song, and this is the one that came to mind. Because in the words of Brandi Carlile, when my head was in the clouds, you found a way to pull me out. You picked my heart up off the ground and showed me love was all around. And if you can, turn towards the screens. We do have some photos of Mandy we've pulled together. You're the soul who understands the scars that make me who I am. Through the drifting sands of time, I got your back and you got mine. If you bear a heavy load,
Amanda would get a kick out of this. Took 24 years, but she finally got me on stage. I'm also going to cheat because I'm not a pro, so I need some props. This all makes sense in a little while. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life. It means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you there's something else. The afterworld. Immortal words from the Purple One. I think many of us in this room are struggling with that. What is on the other side? I know that I am. And some of you feel comfortable with your beliefs on that subject. I envy that peace. I've never considered myself a religious man, but Amanda's passing has definitely made me hope I'm wrong. I met Amanda back in 1998, again, just a few doors down at the Duplex. A few months after I started working there, we became instant friends. Both transplants to New York City, open-minded people with similar outlooks on life, and a shared love of music. Both fans of Elvis, Bowie, Zeppelin, Prince. We were both a little more devilish than the average person, and definitely the last people at the party. Our horns always a little bit longer than everyone else in the room. Many of them out there I see, so don't try to hide. In fact, we were usually the ones looking for the after parties when everyone else was ready for bed. I always felt like a child when I was with her. You know, when you're a kid, you don't have the responsibilities of adulthood, paying bills, work, all that stuff. And every time that I was with her, I always just felt like I was a little kid having an adventure. Like, you know, when you're coming home after school, when you're, you know, just real young, or summer when you don't have anything to do and you're just meeting up with your best friend to just go on adventures together. And that was one of the things that I loved about her. She just had this infectious joy for life and fun. I also loved her heart. I think she made everyone feel like they were the most important person when you were with her. I'm sure a lot of you know that because of that heart and felt so deeply, it also made Amanda a pretty emotional human being. Maybe she felt everything just a little bit more than everyone else. I know that I was on the receiving end, and I'm sure many people in this room were, with her AM phone calls or text messages when she was having a little moment. And I wish I could have 1,000 more of those. Years later, in 2002, when my minister mother married me to my rock, my heart, my delicate flower, my Peaky Blinder, my wife, Lisa, I was honored to have Amanda stand next to me as my best woman. I know I was not the first for that honor. Carlos here had that, and thank you for sharing. I was truly honored to have her with me that day, and 3 other powerful, strong women. My story that comes to this, in 2004, one of our favorite artists, Prince, came to town, and a group of us went a little nuts. We decided to get 3 nights of Prince in a week, because why not? 2 nights at Madison Square Garden and 1 at the old Izod Center in Jersey. Not everybody showed up for every night, but people that were there were John King, Joe Cangelosi, Matt and Amanda, and me and my wife, Lisa. People know that I'm a little bit of a creative type. I like Halloween. I like getting dressed up. So I felt very inspired to just get dressed up for a concert, but not just dressed up. And I wanted to do my own thing. And so I asked my mom if I could borrow one of her vestments that just happened to be a perfect purple robe. Then I went out, Bought myself a clergy shirt and a Roman collar. Scandalous. This stole I purchased, which I have adorned with some of my favorite Prince tunes. And we went out to these concerts. It was probably the most magical musical week I've ever had in my life, seeing Prince, if anyone had the honor of seeing him. It was truly magical. I believe it was on the second night. Because I may have been on a little too much, so some of the details are a little fuzzy. But at one point, we had a connection. After Prince had been playing hit after hit and we were just dancing and having a great time, a song started to play. And I recognized it, but it was not a Prince tune. And almost as though the two of us had the same thought at the same time, I looked to my left and Amanda looked to me at the right. And we both realized that he was wailing out Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin, another one of our favorites. I think we both held hands and screamed like the old videos you saw when the Beatles landed in America. And we didn't care. It was just that connection that I always felt with her that was so beautiful. I also want to thank the Shy and McCurdy family for welcoming me into their homes, both in West Virginia and Texas over the years, and to their hearts. I feel like you've kind of adopted me too. I also want to give a little shout out to Amy McCurdy, who obviously couldn't be here tonight. Joe asked me to take care of the flowers right here, and she usurped me and paid for them. So I just wanted to give her a little shout out too. I also want to thank both Matt and Amanda, I want to thank Matt and Lisa. I know that over the years, me and Amanda probably drove you guys completely insane. Not only with us wanting to stay out all the time, but I know that our antics and our affections probably would have not been accepted by a lot of husbands and wives. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to have that. I miss her hugs. I miss her smile. I miss the love that she gave everyone. And I guess that's where I come to back now to the afterlife. I think if I'm wrong, and when that day comes, and if I wake up on the other side and I find myself walking up that stairway to heaven, I'm pretty sure that she's either going to drive up in a pink Cadillac, a Mercedes Benz, or a little red Corvette. And I hope we can go on some adventures and cause some more trouble. Amanda will always be my friend, and I will always be hers. I love you, Shy.
Evening, everyone. I'd like to bring Dave Koch up if he's in the audience somewhere. My name is John King. I was at that Prince concert. What I saw that night, I cannot unsee. Thanks, Curtis. My story here starts before I met Shy. Matt McCurdy and I were roommates in college back in West Virginia. He and I have been friends for nearly 30 years, best friends. He's a brother to me, like several other people that we went to college with. And, we met Shy at the same time, just around the corner. But at a different place, at a little jazz club on Club Raleigh at the Oaks. And me and Matt and our buddy Jason, who we all went to West Virginia University together, we were all here. We all worked at the same bar. And this little 5'0" Spitfire walked in, applying for a job. And we were all kind of like, who is that? And, you know, as we know, Matt ended up with her, which he deserved her. I'm not so sure the other way around, but we won't talk about that. And Amanda Shy is probably one of the worst waitresses we've ever worked with. She was bad. But, you know, the thing about Amanda Shy is she could walk into a room and at 5'0", she was the biggest light in that room, no matter where she went. And she had a smile that was electric. And so Rick Panson, who at the time owned Club Raleigh and the Duplex, didn't have the heart to fire her. So she ended up at the Duplex slinging drinks with Curtis and Kirk Kelly. And the rest is history. And you know, listen, I've known Shy for 25 years, and I wanted to take a moment just to talk to her nephews here who are here, because, you know, your aunt, she was a superhero, man. She was a superhero. She was a real life superhero. Because no matter how bad your day is, when you saw Shy come in, and she'd always say to me, "Big John!" And she would give me the tightest hug. And any worries that anyone had would melt away. And that was really her superpower. And, you know, take that with you and celebrate her, because she was one of a kind. And, you know, I'm trying to keep this PG, but there was not one person that ever met Amanda Shy and said, "Oh my God, what a bitch." It just didn't happen. Because she was truly wonderful. So, you know, Matt asked me to speak. And I decided to hijack that. I'm going to do a song for Amanda. Whoever made the schedule and made me sing after Jill, I'm coming after you. It's really not fair. We'll preface this with I'm getting over a cold, so hopefully we can get this through this not too badly. Chauncey, where's the DI box up here?
Over here. It's probably behind the curtain. Behind the curtain, Chauncey. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Actually.
So, you know, Amanda, funny story, I remember, you know, obviously she's been around a lot of Mountaineers over the years. And I remember serving, she came back from Texas one year and she said, "Big John, we went to the Texas Mountaineer game. And all my family were mad because I was rooting for the Mountaineers." And I said, "Good girl, Shy." You know, there are a few people in life that really affect you the way she did, and she's certainly an honorary Mountaineer to all of us that are here. And there are quite a few of us here tonight. So, it's my good friend Dave Koch.
Everybody.
He was one of Amanda's favorite people to go see play live here in New York. And when Matt asked me to do this, he was the first person I thought of that I wanted to bring in. I'm very honored that he He's gonna accompany me on this. Now, I must preface this. 0 rehearsal, 0 sound check. So we're winging this, folks.
My wife was driven crazy because I've been listening to the song nonstop for the past, the whole drive-in, all last night. So, see what happens.
We're gonna see how this goes. So, this is a Luke Combs song. We change this up a little bit. Shy, I hope you listen. I know you always wanted me to sing for you. So here goes. There's a couple people that I owe a beer to. Amanda Shy, I owe more than a few. For all the times I could not find the answer, stumbling through the dark without a clue. This one's for you. Amanda Shy always did her best for us crazy fools who couldn't help ourselves. Thank God she was there to see us through. So this one's for you. I told you, Shy, I'd sing you a song. Put my heart in a melody, keep you singing along. These might not be the right time, these might not be the right lines to prove. Say what I'm trying to, but this one's for you. Amanda Shy always did her best for us crazy fools who couldn't help ourselves. Thank God she was there to see us through. So this one's for you. Been knocked down time and time again. Got picked back up by Shy and a few good friends who reminded me of all I stood to lose. This one's for you. I told you, Shy, I'd sing you a song. Put my heart in a melody, keep you singing along. This might not be the right time, these might not be the right lines to prove. Say what I'm trying to, this one's for you. I made more than my fair share of the same mistakes. Bridges burned and lessons learned, a few things that I can't change. So apologies are way past overdue. This one's for you. Yeah, I told you, Shy, I'd sing you a song. Put my heart in a melody, keep you singing along. Well, these might not be the right time, this might not be the right line to prove. Say what I'm trying to, this one's for you. There's a couple mountaineers I owe a shot or two. Amanda Shy, I owe more than a few.
We met Amanda 23 years ago. A few doors down, like everybody else. Matt didn't want to wait for her to get off work, so he drugged us down there. Amanda was a little disconcerted. She didn't think maybe it was appropriate to meet her future in-laws from West Virginia in that bar. Little did she know. But it was a good start. And over the years, we got to know Amanda. And then we came to love Amanda. And she became a second daughter to us. And one of the things we found over the years was there was an awful big heart tucked into that petite body. She was passionate, she was caring, she was passionate about her causes. And she was always willing to discuss them with you. Or argue them forcefully with you. But with no hard feelings afterwards. She will leave a big hole in all of our hearts. There'll never be another Amanda. But we'll keep her in our hearts forever.
Hi, I'm John Wiley. These get harder to do actually as we go on because there's a lot of emotion in them. Like Jill and many in this room, sorry, I'm not off book. Mandy and I became friends in middle school, and certainly very much so in high school. And you think about like high school and Texas high school in particular. There's a hierarchy. At the top is football. And everybody associated with football, right? It's the jocks and cheerleaders and stuff like that. And then in the hierarchy, I was the president of the astronomy club. And it might come as a surprise to you, if you know me or if you've talked to me today, that I'm slightly socially awkward. I have a hard time with crowds and talking to people anyway. But Amanda Shy, by the way, so everybody's been talking about Mandy, and they use words, we'll talk about this in a second, about just bright and brilliant and just light. And the popular kids just really loved that. They were just yes, we want to be with Amanda Shy, but then everybody else was too. And she wasn't the sort of person to be yes, I'm popular. She reached out, she was a bridge. And she was also totally a nerd. And I got to know Mandy, and eventually I found my way into theater. And I'll tell you, if football's up here, theater's pretty respectable. It's it's kind of around here. So, Jill, sorry, band is down here.
I
know. And it's band and choir and whatever, it's theater, football. And I was very excited to be in theater, and I was very excited to be a part of that community. And it turns out, and my theater people, there's a lot of theater people here, you try to think of a thing, you think about theater, and it is this crucible for forming lifelong bonds and deep friendships. And we lived through this, and we became this, and we became part of each other. I am who I am today, in large part because of Amanda Shai. And the theater was absolutely the natural home for Amanda Shai, because, you know, again, as I was saying about the words, as an astronomer, I'm not an astronomer now, but I mean, I'm like an amateur astronomer. I don't know, I do it right. You think about like the words we use to talk about Amanda Shai, right? The fire and the light and the brightness and the energy and the heat and, you know, electric, magnetic. And these are the fundamental forces of the universe. Like Amanda Shai was just like this bundle of like what is the grounding truth of everything that is true about the universe, the things that have existed from the very beginning. She was the shining aspect of this. And, you know, it's no coincidence that we say, oh, they're a star, right? Because she shined like a star. And she was full of that light and warmth. And as theater kids, what was amazing was that Mandy's family would welcome us. And we would do these sleepovers over at their house. And all the kids would come in, we would bring all of our sleeping bags, and they'd clear out, they'd push all the furniture out of the way. And then we would just like camp in their living room overnight. And the thing about it is that once you did that, you knew where all of that light came from. It came from her love of her family. And the light and the power of that she had was shared with us whenever we stayed at their house. And it filled all of us with light, and it filled all of us with love. And later, when she met Matthew, she got brighter, which I didn't think was possible, but she did. And again, to be, and you all know this, to be around or near or even in the same room, or not even in the same room, on a phone call, or even on the other side of a text message with Amanda Shai, the heat and the light would come through. You'd see it, you'd feel it. Mandy Shai was full of that fire and that light, and she gave it to all of us. We all hold a bit of it right now, and we will for the rest of our lives. And in this moment, right now, we've brought it all together. It's concentrated. We've got a little bit of that star here shining, and it feels good. It feels good to feel that love. So thank you, Amanda Shai. I will be forever grateful to have been warmed by your presence in my life and the transformation in me as I grew older and through life and all of those things and what I became is a part of you. You're a part of me. I love you.
Words to the song say it all. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can tell, falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like the river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Hey everyone, I'm Matt Wagner. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Vice President of Target 10, and I've been working there since 2007. So I met Amanda when I first started at the agency, can't do math, 15 and a half years ago and change. And so much I could say. I think as I was thinking about what to say today, trying to come up with like, what's the stories or the anecdotes to share? What was coming to me more was the feeling more than stories in particular. And, something that came to mind too is what we do with Target 10 is we help companies connect with queer audiences. And we talk a lot about these ideas of inclusion and equity and diversity and belonging and how to make people feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves and part of community, especially for people who are often not inherently part of a community or even dismissed from ones that they were part of. And Amanda, I think sometimes when we'd be having these meetings, I'm thinking back like when we had our office and we're all sitting around the table and we would be talking about Target 10 and internal things, and that was where Amanda, obviously as the office manager and the operations manager and the financial manager, really shone. And when we would start talking about some of these like headier, more intellectual ideas around marketing and inclusion, she would sometimes excuse herself or quiet down because she didn't feel like it was her territory. And I think, in fact, it was absolutely her territory because Amanda didn't need to read it on LinkedIn or get an MBA or go to business school to understand what inclusion was and what family and creating a sense of belonging was. And I think especially, being in New York City, where it's very easy to feel adrift, even as a native, I'm from Brooklyn, and I have family here, of course. But living in Manhattan, you can feel like one in a million. And Amanda, from the very first day I started at Target 10, all the way through my entire career there, which is ongoing, made me feel like I was at home in so many more ways than just feeling at home in an office. She turned our office into a home in a very real, physical way. Such a beautiful, warm, inclusive space where anyone could come in, and that extended from like the doorman who she was super friendly with, who we were all friendly with too, who most people in the building would just like walk right past, to anyone that would enter our space, clients, vendors, the mailman, she formed not just relationships, but authentic relationships with all of these people in her orbit, in this orbit. And so I think there's an irony that sometimes she would have felt like she couldn't talk about these things when in fact she was emblematic of those things, of these things, in a very natural, organic way. And I think all of the different concepts that we've been talking about, all of her incredible qualities and attributes, only, that's what served to enhance her ability to make people feel at home. And I know due to the home that she comes from, the homes that she was adopted by, forming her own home, moving to New York City, which I sure as hell couldn't have done. I never left, obviously. And I think also, being a steady voice at Target 10, more than just someone who kept the lights on, but someone who made people feel welcome. I like people a lot. I don't always love talking to people. And Amanda was always the person who could get that conversation going, make people feel comfortable, and make people feel at ease, which is really one of the rarest qualities, I think, and most important qualities that if today's society shows is needed more than ever. So of all the things I could say, that's the one that really made sense to me and came to mind. But I think anyone who Amanda has made to feel not only part of their home, but at home, you'll always have that piece of her with you. I know I feel more at home in New York City than I ever would have if I hadn't met her. So that's what I got. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kim Lee, one of your bartenders. I'm going to do a little song I think Amanda liked. So, just three girls from Texas, me, Amanda, and Janice. Busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, and I was feeling near as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before it rained and rode us all the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I was playing soft while Bobby sang the blues. Windshield wiper slapping time. I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, and nothing ain't worth nothing.
brought props. Hey guys, that was amazing. My name is Matt Tuminello. Pull up my notes here. So I just want to make something clear. Matt Wagner was just up there a minute ago. I'm the other Matt at Target 10, and with the Matts, and Amanda and Bob and Matt, myself and others who were here, Aaron and Joey and even Dan Delaney. We're all part of this big Target 10 family, and I just want to be clear, kind of before I go into some of the things I want to say is we met through work. And I guess I was Amanda's boss, but we are not work friends. Like, Amanda is my dear friend, Matthew is my dear friend. And I know that's true for everybody else as well. So I might have some work stories, but I don't want you to think that I'm like the guy down the hall that's just a nice boss. I'm a really nice boss. So something else is pretty cool, like Amanda would, I watched my language. Amanda would really love this. She would really love this, to see everybody here. The fact that it's live streamed, that's crazy. She always loved to party, and personally, I've really been looking forward to this because it's been a really rough, really rough couple of weeks. And so I keep pouring through photos, keep pouring through emails and stuff like that. And the stuff that I find myself, when you're just at your desk alone, you kind of naturally smile at something, and it's just this memory. It's something funny. A lot of my memories that I'm also hearing are audible memories, something I remember that she would say. And so I jotted down a gazillion of them, and I'm like, okay, Joe Cangelosi said keep it to 4 minutes. So I reined it way back, but I might add a few more in here. So I thought what I would do is I'm just going to share with you some of the things that made me smile over the last few weeks. Maybe they'll make you smile. I know you guys have all of them, so what I would say is hang on to those. Those are awesome. They're awesome. And they're also very random. Some are just personal to me, but whatever, we'll share. The first one, Kimberly, that was awesome. That song was beautiful, and that totally connects to my first memory of Amanda. There was one night we were out and had dinner somewhere in the West Village, I'm sure, and many more cocktails kept coming, and I think they graduated to beers, and we found ourselves at the duplex, and after just a couple minutes, the next thing you know, Amanda gets up and she starts singing Bobby McGee at the piano at 2 in the morning or something like that. And when you see a person you love very much, a good friend, in a whole new light that you've never seen before, I was like, wow, who is this chick? This is amazing. I love it. She's singing this is crazy. And she's giving this crazy Janis Joplin vibe, and I'm sure all the Budweisers we had helped, but it was just so much fun. And so I think what a gift I have now is every time I pass that duplex or I go in for a drink, Bob and we're gonna go grab a drink there. That's my memory. I get that memory. I get to go in there and be like, oh, remember when that happened? That was magic. So that's a little piece of Amanda Shy magic there. This next one, this maybe is just very personal to me, but I did hear a little bit about this, with Matt and others talking, and this is an audible memory, is my name. Amanda didn't call me Matt. My name is Matt T.
Yes.
Matt T. It was John, and John was what'd she call you? You're Big John. I was Matt T. And Matt Wagner is Matt Wagner. It's one word. Matt Wagner, Matt T. And it's usually followed by something really fun, Matt T, where are we gonna go for dinner? Matt T, how was Pride? Oh, Matt T, are we gonna meet at Stonewall? I'm wearing this for her because we would come here all the time. And that's just another one of those. It's an audible memory. So when I see pictures of Amanda, that's all I hear. Hey, Matt T. I love that. This other one, this is a little funny, and I'll show you some of this in the props in a minute. So Amanda she taught me how to take a photo for a lady. Amanda was very particular about the photo. And if you don't know this, it's not this, it's this. And when you think you're high enough, you're not. And she will take that camera, inspect the photo, make you delete it, and you'll do it again. But she'll say it very nice. She'll go, oh, that's good. Now try another one. And even when we'd have professional photos taken at Target 10, like professionals, she'd be like, and so I'm sharing a life lesson from Amanda Shai. So that's pretty cool. So my husband and I own a restaurant, and there was one night some ladies. That's how Amanda would say, these ladies were leaving dinner, a group of friends or family or something, and they asked if I would take their picture. So I was going to take their picture, and I could sense one of them was about to say, but before she got through, I was already up there. And she goes, oh, and so they're all like, smiling, and I hear her say, she goes, oh, she knows how to do it. So I was just like, Amanda Shai, life lesson, take photos of a lady. Take that with you. Where's my next one? I'm gonna throw one in that wasn't on my list, but we were talking, I think John was maybe some call her a nerd, and then it was a huge nerd. She was super popular. Oh, it was John Wiley, yeah. Super popular. She was also a nerd, and we had this meeting in South Beach, Florida. South Beach is like sexy and stiletto heels and makeup and dresses and sexy Latin, whatever. And Amanda comes with her giant bag of snorkeling equipment, and goggles, and she's like, when are we going to the beach? And she couldn't swim practically. I figured that one, and that's a little nerd story. So, the photo, the beach. Oh, okay, this is a funny one. See, I'm laughing, I'm not crying now. Amanda and I cry a lot. So, Amanda, as we all know, hyper-organized, maybe a little OCD, not sure, that's okay. Her bookkeeping was flawless. I think our accountants said, I've never seen cleaner books in my life. This is amazing. And that was a huge compliment to her. So anyways, when Target 10 got its first office, we're on 34th Street, and Amanda and I are working together, and we get a letter from the landlord's assistant. Says, something wrong with one of your expenses. You're in arrears on a payment, or you calculated something wrong. And it's like, oh, wow. And Amanda's like, that's impossible. So we put her on speakerphone, and we call her up. And the woman's name was Marva. And Marva has grown in urban legend as this story is told, but I keep telling it because it makes me happy. So Marva had kind of a deep voice. She had an accent. And she's trying to explain on the phone what the mistake was. And Marva's not able to articulate it because there was no mistake. And then finally, in frustration, she goes, Amanda, you need to get your books straight. Exactly. Amanda must have, and I knew Amanda was right. I had no, but it was in front of her boss, whatever. She must have spent the next 7 hours proving 8 ways sideways how Marvin was wrong and she was right. And that was the end of the story. So for years afterwards, whenever we'll be working on a project, there'd be a little confusion about a number or something, and I'd just turn to her and be like, Amanda. So sure, all the guys at Target 10 were like, yeah, I heard that joke before. But we would fall out. So I'll wrap this up. Photo, Marva. Okay, this is another funny one, and then I'll get to the serious one. So another life lesson from Amanda, fake it till you make it. So Amanda was one of the best hires, best business decisions I've ever made in my life. I was so proud to work with her. She's wonderful. I got her from my great friend Charlie. I got her reference from my great friend Charlie. And but I hired her to do my QuickBooks, okay? And so a couple of years ago, my husband Dominic says to me, he goes, when you hired her, she didn't know anything about QuickBooks or Microsoft Excel. And it turns out that she would call her sister. She'd go to the corner of the office and be like, what's a debit? That's how she got so good that she did. So that's another life lesson for Amanda Shai. Confidence, fake it till you make it. Okay, so there's many good areas. I'm gonna close with two. And this goes a little bit to what Matt Wagner was saying. So at Target 10, what we do is special. We try to make a world where everyone's included, everyone's happy, everyone's loved. Anyone who has a heart, right? And Amanda, wow, What a heart. That was the biggest heart. And so each of us work on that every day. And for 17 years, Amanda was working to make a world where every single person in this room, every single person on this planet was just joyful and happy and loved. And I'm wearing this shirt because Stonewall is pretty iconic. Here we are at the historic Stonewall, pretty appropriate for Amanda. We came here in 2013 when Edie Windsor won her case. We came here in 2015 when I would be able to allow to marry my husband, who I love. And I think that meant more to Amanda than me. Amanda was just off the hook, crying and happy and just, she was like, God, this is so good. And, that's just a beautiful memory. And the last thing is, oh, shit, my props. Sorry, kids. So here, I'll leave these up. Here we are at Stonewall at those both 2013 and 2015 moments. And it's just so beautiful. So I'll leave those out. But the last one is, Amanda had an expression that I loved. And she'd always say, oh, you're going home, you're going to see Dominic, give him a squeeze for me. No. And, when I'd be going home for the holidays, she'd be like, hey, give your ma a squeeze. Or if she would hear a story, and unfortunately, at work, we hear about some really tough times for some people, and it would break her heart. And she'd be like, God, I just want to squeeze them. I think it's a very beautiful thing. And so Amanda, I'll read this while I hold this picture up. Our last, one of our last newsletters, Pride coming out of the pandemic, Amanda wrote the end of it. And this was the photo that she had. And she wrote in our newsletter, it goes to a couple thousand people. She wrote, the LGBTQ plus community has accepted me since I arrived on these shores of New York City over 20 years ago. While I've not lived the LGBTQ plus experience, I will forever and a day feel the welcome that community gave to a gal who didn't really fully fit in anywhere. So, here's me and my team celebrating Pride 2019, the last Pride we could gather in person. Looking forward to Pride 2021. As we can finally gather in person again, proud doesn't even capture how I feel. Happy Pride Month. Squeeze and love each other. I think that's some pretty damn good advice. So I want everybody to be squeezing each other tonight, not in a bad way. Because I would give anything to squeeze that girl one more time. That's about it. So thank you. Excuse me.
Oh, that's all right. Where are my glasses? Oh.
Some sense in me. Amanda was beautiful and kind. And Kurt, sometimes a peacemaker. We used to hang out together, happy hour. Like Jerry said, please sing along.
Jerry, you're incredible. Otherwise,
I never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause you any pain. I only wanna one time see you laughing. I only want to see you laughing in the purple. Wake up! Purple rain.
weekend lover. I just wanna be your friend, yeah. I could never steal you from no other. It's such a shame a friendship had you in purple rain, purple rain. Woo! Purple rain, purple rain. Oh, yeah. Purple rain, purple rain. Oh, the summer. I only want to see you all on me, but purple rain. I know times are changing. But it's time we reach out for something new. That means me too. You're looking for a leader. You can't seem to make up your minds. Let your hearts guide you. Let your hearts guide you. Purple rain, purple rain. Oh yeah. Purple rain, purple rain. Huh. Purple rain, purple rain. All they wanna see you. Help me out. Who's on top? Kimberly, where are you? Get on top there.
I'm another little short person, sorry. I'm gonna start off just by saying, there's a quote, if you live without passion, you can live life without leaving any footprints.
Gina, we can't hear you.
Close to the mic. Close to the mic.
Unlike my little sister, I do not like microphones. Okay, if you live without passion, you can go through life without leaving any footprints. You might leave behind pleasant memories in the minds of friends and acquaintances, but those dissipate quickly. Betty White said that. I think it's safe to say that Mandy didn't just leave little dainty footprints. She stomped the hell over everybody. That was her, bigger than life. You knew the instant she walked into a room, because everything went up. Everything. She brought so much passion to everything. And she was very passionate about a lot of different things. Her biggest thing was, she always wanted to connect with people. growing up, she was part of all of our friends. Our friends would come over, Kelly, mine, and Kathy's. Mandy always was right smack in the middle of everything. And then as she got older, she would bring her friends and make us sit right and smack in the middle of everything. She was so good at connecting people. And it wasn't good enough to just introduce you to someone else. It was, come here, you're gonna be my family, come on in. And that's what we always do. And that's what she always did. And I think she would get a huge kick out of everybody that, I don't know, a lot of you we've never even met. We just know because Mindy has told us all these crazy stories about everybody. But you guys are family too. And she did that. And she's always gonna continue to do that. So, squeeze each other. And squeeze everybody else. And just kind of love everybody and include people, because that's what Mandy was good at. And she would be really proud of everybody being here. So, we had a great time.
Matthew McCurdy requested this song, and if you can bear it, we do have some more photos that we'd like to share of sweet Amanda Shy. us against the world. Through chaos as it swirls, it's us against the world.
Wow. Love you too, brother. Jill, thank you. It was beautiful. I have this memorized, but I'm gonna use the same. Melissa, Maria, Kinley, Michael, Jerry, Chauncey, thank you. Joe, thank you. Big John King, love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
Kurt, thank you so much for this. I cannot think of a more perfect place for her.
It's all for her.
She would have loved this.
She's here.
I know. She's got that big, beautiful smile on. Watch this. There's a song by Joni Mitchell called The Big Yellow Taxi. And one of the lyrics is, don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you've got until it's gone. I knew what I had. Best friend, lover, soulmate, everything. A 5'2", 113-pound, fine-ass little firecracker. That walked around like she was 6'6" and 300 pounds. Owning it. God, she was beautiful. As King said, Amanda Shaw and I met at Club Raleigh at the Oaks, right over on Grove and Bleecker. I still remember that Thursday night in 1998, she walked into my bar on her night off. She was there to see my roommate. Lucky for me, I was covering his shift. She sat down and we talked all night long. It was like we were the only two people in the room. No, we were. We was Before she left, I told her that a bunch of us were gathering the next night for drinks and that she should come. She showed up that Friday night, and I did not. The next time I saw her, she was giving me a hard time, and I asked her to please let me make it up. I knew my mistake. She said yes. On our first date, I took her to a movie, and then we went to the Dive 75 on the Upper West Side for drinks. And we never had a problem talking to each other. Always. I remember we were drinking Murphy's Irish Stout. And at one point I asked her if she wanted another. And without thinking, she blurted out, "Sure,
I'll have another one of those McCurdy's. And I smiled and thought to myself, I got you, bitch. Afterwards, I walked her home to the Catherine house on 13th Street. And we had our first kiss. A kiss that ignited a fire that burned hard and bright, just like her, for 24 years. An epic 24. Us against the world. So yeah, I knew what I had. A light that shone brighter than most. Beautiful girl with a beautiful soul that left too soon. And I am the luckiest man in this room. I think you probably all have some Tito's by now. Can I have some Tito's?
Speak louder.
All right. Tito's is her favorite. Let's hold one up for Amanda fucking Shy. Amanda Shy, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I will love you forever, baby girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just thought it was on this camera.